Just now, Bhante talked about Hong recall, and then Bhante also say that some of the monks they can attain psychic power through sustained meditation practice, right? But for the recent incident that happened in our school, the monk he just renounced for 6 to 7 years. So this is not very long time, right? Then any other ways that a monk can read our mind other than through meditation practice, through a sustained meditation practice, any other way we can read our mind?
I have direct experience with a teacher who uses this kuitong. This, what they do is they keep the spirit. And this spirit is a kepochi, always will go and find out information and come and report back to the owner. So the owner also can tell the spirit to do what he wants to do. For example, if you want to know what you are thinking, you can find it. The spirit will tell it what you are thinking. So that's why I said you have to be very careful to distinguish between Senthong and Kuitong. For a person to really attain psychic powers through meditation, that person has to attain the 4th jhana. And for a person to attain the 4th jhana, he has to live alone. Live alone and let go a lot of things. And then once he has attained the 4th jhana, for some the psychic powers come naturally, some they have to cultivate. But the Buddha in the Sutta says when a person has attained the 4th jhana, it is so blissful that even when he comes out of that 4th jhana, when he's sitting, he is like sitting in heaven. When he's standing, he's like standing in heaven. When he's walking in heaven, and lying down also. So because of that, once a person has attained the 4th jhana, usually he won't do anything except sit and meditate. It's just like a person blissed out with what ecstasy or what, but much more pleasant than even your ecstasy pill or whatever drug. So unless that person is a type of meditator who doesn't want to do anything, doesn't even want to talk except meditate, all the rest is fake. Once a person really has attained psychic power, he doesn't want to do anything except meditate. And also that person is very peaceful. So it's not so difficult to distinguish.
Bhante mentioned that the person that attained that jhana is very peaceful. And how can you know a person is peaceful? You can know a person is peaceful or agitated through his bodily action, how he behaves. Some people behave in an agitated way and say, "Hey, why are you angry?" "Oh, I'm very peaceful." Fake. You can know whether a person is peaceful or not through his speech. Okay. Thoughts, not so easy to see a person's thoughts. But whatever a person is thinking of often, it will manifest itself through speech or action. So you can see through that 3 doors, countenance, action, and also speech, whether a person is peaceful or not. And a person may pretend for some time, but they cannot pretend forever. That's why it takes a long time to understand another person. It takes even a long time to understand ourselves. And to see very carefully, not casually see, but see carefully. Observe very mindfully, then we can understand. When we know that the person is not really peaceful, then there is no Senthong. And my experience is, I went to a very good school, and we have many smart students, and they are not even Buddhists. And in discussion, in tutorials, okay, we are able to anticipate each other's points of arguments. When we were doing a subject such as law, I was able to, Susie is going to say this and so on. Therefore, before her turn, I counter it already. Then Susie said, you are reading my mind. Okay? But not psychic one, but in a colloquial manner. Oh, you are reading my, oh, you read my mind. And then they were also able to see how I am thinking, what line of argument or defense I'm thinking. So what I'm trying to say is, it's not something that is always very psychic. It's not something that is always very magical. It could be something with a lot of common sense, which is so uncommon nowadays. That's why we find, wow, this one a very intelligent person, a very wise person. Actually, it's just plenty of common sense. And this is my own experience and understanding. My students, some of the parents are here. My students who stay with me for considerable time, they all say that Brother Tan can read our minds, right? They say that, Ati, the testimony there. All of them, they stay with me 10 years. And then she said, Brother Tan can read our minds. I think also told the mother. But I told them also, what for read your mind is so corrupted? I better read Dhamma book. All of them said that, all the students. So they were very afraid of me. If they do wrong, they will come at night and say, Brother Tan, I have confession. Then they will confess. And then I said, be mindful, don't do it. Apamadena sampadita, don't do it again, be mindful. Because they all think that I could read the minds. And I told them, I can't be bothered reading minds. Because I can't, number one. I can't be bothered because I can't. Right? And there's nothing worth reading your mind also. It's not worth reading because it's full of defilement. I always joke with them. So it's not so difficult. Okay? It requires a lot of common sense. And the mind is easier, you can anticipate the person's train of thoughts when the person is weak. When the person is weak, you can cycle them, and then he can lead you. This is called misleading. And then you can tell, what are you trying to prove? When you tell, okay, you are like this, and then 你呢，你就不同了，你就是讲这个了咯，你呢，我知道的，我知道你不相信的。But what are you trying to prove? Pointing this and pointing that, We are trying to prove our superiority. That means inherently we are inferior. A person who is truly superior, according to the Buddhist scriptures, no such behavior.
Brother Tan said, it's even more true of a person who has a robe, because people have more faith. Yeah. So in the same way, like Brother Tan, some of my followers, they believe that I have psychic power. Even though I tell them I don't have, also they think they still believe. So it's very easy for gullible people to think a monk